The following has been paid for by the Pens World Order.
I'm back from vacation, everyone. Couple days on the road to take in delicious Northeast hockey. So, what did I miss? Everything going well? Easter going well? Fireworks gone off yet? Pens win and get a nice two-step win over Florida team as the defending champs are defending no more. This is the Let's Go Pens fan react. Not having gotten the past two games because I was off on a road trip in the Northeast, and Thursday and Saturdays I was just completely gassed to not be able to do these. So what I missed on Thursday? Oh, Pens get routed by Tampa in Tampa to halt their winning streak. Whoops! Then they play Florida team on a Saturday night and just decide to put Officer Bob out of Des miseries. 9-3. 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 goals scored in one game, and at that point, Florida was pretty much gone. But today, on an Easter Sunday, you had to follow that up. And how were you going to do that? You took down Officer Bob. You got his replacement, Tarasov, today. Where do you go? Do you just follow it up, just nonchalant? And this team's played a lot of hockey. 5 games in 7 days. One's a back-to-back with travel. You had long travel from Tampa and back-to-back home games this weekend. So, no one would blame the Pens if they were a little slow, a little flat-footed to start, even on Peanuts Day. Yes, Peanuts Day at PPG, where they actually drew the starting lineup just like Charles Schwartz would for the Peanuts. It was actually kind of cute. But in the first period, you're just kind of waiting who's going to break the proverbial ice, because Florida team's on a back-to-back. Their season's pretty much destroyed. They need a little extra something. The Pens have played some good hockey, 3 out of 4. What do you do in this one? And Tarasov reminding us of the golden rule: if you're a goaltender, tend the goal. Flings the puck, and it gets bounced off a player, off of Brian Rust. Elmer Soderblom, Elmer finds the puck and goes, be very, very quiet, into the wide open net. And if you're a goaltender, tend the goal. It's Panther season, everyone. Soderblom gets his 6 to make it 1-0 Pens on a gift from Tarasov. Panthers are able to tie the game about 5 minutes later as Cole Schwitt, Schwindt, gets his 4th of the season to tie the game at 1. Okay, fine. Florida wasn't going to go down easily. This was a game where Florida would get their revenge. You're going to make it close. It's going to be a hard-fought game until Sidney Crosby goes, "Not today, Satan." Igor Chinikov flings the puck up to Crosby, who just comes in, skates, fires, corner, snipe on Tarasov, puts it into the net. Crosby with his 29th and clinches another point per season, his 21st point per season. Yeah, I know, last year's record was a little flower in a field of death. But this year he just comes out and does it again. We're probably not going to ever see that. And this was a guy who was injured with concussions earlier in his career. Crosby gets his 29th from Chinikov, his 18th, and Rust his 36th. Not to be outdone, power play to end the period for the Pens as Malkin flings the puck around the corner, getting the Panthers moving. And the Panthers penalty kill, they like to have 2 guys up in a box formation. They like to have 2 guys up, and they will be aggressive on who's ever at the point, the defenseman at the point, or forward playing at the point. And what they do is that they want to poke the puck out of the zone, start breakaways the other way, or if anything else, disrupt the power play before it even has a chance to do anything. But if it works, it's held there on the blue line. If it doesn't, like what Malkin did, he's able to rim the puck all the way around. Crosby gets it, flings it to Richard Raquel, who's wide freaking open, who just takes out his phone and goes, oh, it's 56 degrees outside. That's nice. Bam! Into the net and scores on Tarasov, who was just left all freaking lone. Nobody had him in the bumper spot. Raquel is 24th. Malkin is Raquel is 23rd. Crosby is 42nd. Malkin is 40th. 3-1 Pens after one. In the second, the Pens would have some more power play chances, including a little bit of a 4-on-3. There was a lot of 4-on-4 play because a lot of matching penalties. Florida's just getting into the rough stuff because they're like, F it, we ball. We got nothing left anyway. And the Pens, all they had to do was just survive it. I mean, that's really it. You know you're the better team. You know you can beat these guys. And you end up doing so. And Raquel is able to get another goal as a puck bounces out in front. And Richard Raquel just like, all right. And bam! Nice solid grounder right through the infield for a base hit. But this is hockey. Bats it out of the air and into the net as Raquel gets his 24th, Malkin his 41st, and Tommy Novak playing up on the second line. Pens make it 4-1, and then Rusty tacks one on with 4 minutes to start with a little bit of a scramble, just bats the puck in. It goes up and over Tarasov. Rust skates out of the way. Tarasov slides into Rust, and the puck just plops into the net. I guess some people were waiting to see if goaltender interference would be called. There wasn't. There was nothing. It's a goal. 5-1 Pens. And Carter Verhaeghe gets a power play goal in garbage time for his 24th. And Seth Jones gets his 24th assist. And that was it. Pens win 5-2 the final and have just had an amazing week by their standards. They took both games earlier this week to get a win in Long Island and then to get a win against Detroit, which Detroit's suddenly fallen off a cliff. Everybody's bumping and struggling there at the second wild card line. You get blown out by Tampa in Tampa, due theory, and then you come back home and you beat the Florida Panthers by a combined score 14-6. I mean, I said it. I've said this at the beginning of the season. You get good now, and you get points later. And this team's pretty darn good right now. They sit in second. They sit in second in the Metro right now, and right now their number to clinch a playoff spot is 2. That's it. 2 points. 2 points. Either they get a win or they can backdoor in, I think probably with Philly, Detroit, or Columbus continues to lose ground. They're all at 88 points. So is Ottawa. And Washington's technically still in it. So, yeah, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams battling for one playoff spot. So that will be interesting. But all the Pens have to do is get a win or a combination of 2 points over the next 5 gains we got left. And those games is as we head to getting things set up here. We're going to Newark, a place where I was last week twice, to take on the Devils for the last time this season out there in Newark. Watch your wallets. Out there in Newark. And then a home and home against the Capitals. this coming Saturday, which is the last home game for the guys, an ABC game, and then turn around to go to DC for a 3 o'clock start there in DC, and then off to St. Louis to finish the season against the Blues. Sure. Hopefully everything's wrapped up by that point, and just start a bunch of the lads by that point. But you're almost there. This is why I say get points at the beginning of the season, get good later. And the boys are getting good at just when you want to. The end of March, the beginning of April is when you really want to hit that stride. Mid-March at the earliest, and the guys are doing that. They're getting points when they need to create separation, and they have. Now, on Thursday, go to Newark and finish the job against the Fighting Jack Hugheses and put a little less stress on next weekend. Let's go, Pens. I'll catch you next time.